Hello everyone. In today's video we are going to discuss about sequence dynamic array function, which is used to generate the automatic dynamically all serial numbers. It can be created customized also. Let me give you one example. Let's say I have few items name over here and I want to make it dynamic that whenever I add new value in it, a customized serial number will be generated. This is the one example. The same we can implement in our invoice format or the templates. Means whenever we add a new item number in this invoice, a serial number will get inserted automatically. The next one, I have created one depreciation template to calculate the depreciation of an asset, for which we need three arguments: cost, salvage and life. So whenever there is a change in the life period, we need to expand or spill the data based on the life. For example, right now there are 12 years of life of this asset, so I need 12 columns, but if it is reduced to 5, so if I change, all data will be changed automatically depending on the life. The third example I'm gonna explain is that I have 50 employees and we need to arrange a training for 10 employees batch, so we need to assign a batch number for each 10 employees. For this we can use sequence function, make it dynamic. Means if we want to add more employees over here, the batch number will assign automatically. It can be created customized also, means we can give any customized batch or any other text which you want. So this is the main uses of the sequence function. These all practical examples are very limited, but once you learn this function, you can explore in your daily day-to-day life in office. So let's going ahead to start with its definition. So the definition is it's a dynamic array function introduced in the Excel 365, but it is freely available in the Google Sheet. So if you don't have Excel, don't worry, you can do the practice and use the Google Sheet to use all dynamic array functions absolutely free of cost in the Google Sheet. So instead of returning a single value, it spills the data. So all dynamic arrays do the same, means whenever they have any value in the result, so they spill in the row or in the columns as well. So it can also spill the result in the columns, and it is basically replace the serial number drag down functionality which normally we used. So I have already explained the one practical example. Now learn about the syntax. So it has 4 arguments. The first one is mandatory and remaining 3 are optional. So let me start the example in which I will explain the arguments as well. So I'm gonna remove this first. So I will start with very simple example. So I have few names written of items from row number 19 to 35. So I need to create serial numbers. So in previous Excel or traditionally what we do, we type 1, 2 and select both the cells and then double click to generate the serial number. So we got it. But the problem is that whenever we add new value, I need to add or perform the same once again. But if I use sequence array function, I can get it dynamically. So let's get start. So I will type sequence, and now in the row column I need to tell the system how many rows we need to expand the data. So in this case I know my number of rows, so maybe it is 14, so I will enter 14. I will close the bracket, and press enter. So data gets spilled, the number of rows I have entered over here. But if I do not know and make it dynamic, so we can use some another inbuilt functions called COUNTA. So COUNTA used to count the text values of the given range. So now I will give the range. So it is starting from C19, and we can give some extra range for future data sets and close the bracket for COUNTA and close the bracket for sequence as well. So now the function is dynamic, means whenever we add the new values, you will get the serial number automatically. This is the one way. Now you want to add some customized text. So for that we need to add some text in front of the sequence. So let's say I want to add voucher numbers, and as you know that whenever we input any text in any function or formula, it must be in the double quotation mark. So I will start typing double quotation mark, and let's say I want to assign some SKU. So I will enter the text SKU in it within the double quotation mark. I would like to give some space as well, and then minus sign, and I will close the bracket. And sorry, before closing I need to close the double quotation mark, and when we join any text with another formula, it must be joined by the ampersand. Now I'm gonna close or enter, and we got our answer, and that is spilled. So I'm getting SKU assigned to these items starting from the 1 to 21, and whenever I add new values in this dataset, a new SKU will be assigned. So you can use this technique to generate the employee code, SKU code, or voucher numbers for uploading your vouchers in any ERP systems or maintained in the Excel. So this is one example. Now we are moving to another arguments of this function. So I will type sequence. Let's say I don't want to spill my data in the rows, I want to spill on the columns. So by default value is in the rows. If I add any value, so the data will be spilled in the rows. Now I want to change it to the columns. So for this I will enter comma. So I'm leaving blank for inputs for rows. Now I'm enter data for columns. I want to spill my data for the columns to the right hand side. So now if I add any value in it, it will spill to the right hand side in the columns. And you can add more data in it. Means right now I tell the system that I want to spill my data to the columns, but we can add third argument, which is start. I can tell the system that by which serial number it gets started. Let's say I want to start these serial numbers starting from the 101, and I can enter. So now you can see the value will start from the 101. So it can also be a customized value. You can add any text before or after of this formula. The text will get added automatically. Now you can see it is incremented by 1 only, but if you want another value, like you want to increase by 10, so you can enter the step value to change the incremental series. So in this case it is 10, and press enter. So now you can see in the first value is 101, second is 111, and so on. So by that way we can use to spill the data in different columns. Now moving to our next example, which is the invoice. So let's say you want to make it dynamic, which we already discussed, but I'm making it more professional. So I'm removing all this data from here, because here I have limited rows. So I can assign this range in our sequence. So whenever any new data or any rows add in the first column, it must start from the serial number 1. Otherwise it must show the blank. So for this I will use if else functionality. So I will start type equals to, then if, and now I want to do a logical test. Means, so if range from C14 to C35 equals to blank, then it must be blank. Otherwise sequence, and then give the range, because we need to count for this sequence, and we need to give count A as well. Sorry. So here I need to give count A, and then we have to give the range, and then close the bracket, and then close the bracket for sequence, and close the bracket for if else as well. Now press enter. So now we can see the data is getting spilled, but it is displaying nothing, because we give the logical test is that whenever these values are blank, it also shows the blank. So now if I enter any value over here, so I'm getting my serial number in the serial number column. So this is how you can achieve this functionality. Now moving to our depreciation template. So in the depreciation template, we need to achieve that whenever we change the lifespan of this asset, it must be spilled on right hand side in each column. Right now these are the 5. If I change it to 7, it must spill like this. And also I want year in front of that. Also I want to calculate the depreciation. So I am removing my predefined functions. So now I'm using year first. For this I want to use, I need to enter one customized value in text, which is year. So it must be entered in the year, and give some space, and give any symbol like a hyphen sign, and again double quotation mark, and enter ampersand as well. Now I'm gonna start sequence, and I don't want to enter or spill the data in the rows. I want in columns, so I'm leaving it blank. Enter comma, and in the column, how many columns we want to expand, we can give the reference of this cell and which value I want. It is in date format or it is in number format. That depends on the third argument. So I have one date over here and I want to extract the year from this date. For this, I will use year inbuilt function in which we give the reference of a serial number of a date. So I will give the reference of this cell where we have date of purchase and then close the bracket for year and close the bracket for sequence, and now press enter. So this is how you can achieve. We can simply see that in 2026 year, then 27 and 28, because we have not given any argument for fourth in step argument, because by default incremental number is 1. Now moving to the calculation of depreciation. For this we will use inbuilt function called SYD, which is used to calculate the depreciation. So the first argument in which we have to define the cost, so we can give the reference of asset cost, then comma, give the salvage value. Salvage value is nothing but the remaining value of the asset after the life or the expiry date of this asset. Means it has a lifespan of 7 years. So after 7 years, the approximate value of this asset would be 5,000 rupees. So 495,000 will be spent or depreciated within these 7 years. That we have to put in these columns in each year what should be the value. And the third argument is life, which is the reference of this cell C3. And in the fourth argument, we need to tell the system we want to calculate the depreciation using the sequence function. So we don't want value spill in the rows, so we will leave it blank. Enter comma, then the column. So how many columns we want? We want 7 columns. Okay, and that's all we need to give. And start would be in numbers, which comes automatically from the SYD function. So I need to close the bracket for sequence function and then close the bracket for SYD function and press enter. By default, you may not see any symbol of currency, so you need to select the range and then give the particular format in which you want. So let's say I want to reduce the decimal, so I will select some more data. So I need to reduce the decimal places. And now if I change the lifespan, because both sequence function which we used in year and depreciation is depend on the life. So if I change it to 8, so data will expanded automatically using the sequence function. So this is the beauty. Now moving to our third and the last argument, which is the batch number. So I'm removing both the functions used already. So my task is to give the batch number automatically of each 10 employees, because I have total 50 number employees and I want to send them for a compliance training, and each one batch we need 10 employees only. So how we need to assign automatically, that will be done using the sequence function. So for this, first we need to give a customized value. So let's say BTC or whatever you want, and then ampersand to join both the functions. So this time I'm gonna use sequence function, and I know I have total 50 employees, so I will enter 50. And now I need to divide this group by 10 employees. So I need group of 10 employees, so I will divide it by 10, but I will get the value in decimal places whenever I use. So I need to round up. So in front of sequence I need to use inbuilt function called ROUNDUP, and it will round up the decimal values to nearest 1. At the end I will enter 0 after the comma. I will close the bracket for roundup and I will enter it, and now we can see I have BTC 1 for first 10 employees, BTC 2 for next 10 employees, BTC 3 for next 10 employees. So these are the few examples I have explained in this video for using the sequence function. You can use this function using inbuilt functions of Excel or Google Sheet to create your report dynamically and make it automated. You can just Google for some more practical examples. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to the next video for next topic. Thank you, friends.